largely, I suppose, an unchanged side apart from a few forced ones. I guess, could you just talk through that rationale? Were you keen to try and keep as much of that momentum going as you could from that Perth win?
Look, we've got 5 tests in a row. This is obviously the second one, so we're clearly going to have we've got a plan in place for the next block, and you've got to react and adapt to what injuries chucked up. But really, we came through the Perth test really, really well. I think we had a couple of head knocks that we got sort of instant pass sparks within 24 hours, but we've aired on the side of using this as a chance to not play both Artie and Cody. We got Ethan de Groot, who's back training with us now, and but not full on, so he will hopefully have a full training week next week. Paddy's much the same. He's probably an 8.5, 9 out of 10 at the moment. So we've got the luxury now of leaving him for another week. So I think when you go through some of the little tweaks, it's been nice to have the luxury of being able to put them in the grandstand for this week, and hopefully over the next 2 or 3 weeks we've got a very energetic squad.
And just on your outside backs, George and Sevu come in there. It must be nice to have that competition. It feels like all of your outside backs are in pretty good form at the moment. Is that a good selection headache for you guys to have?
Yeah, it's a good headache, all right. And it's you look at the chart, having the likes of a Rico on the bench. Obviously his versatility to cover both, but he's obviously in great form at the moment. And again, just using the energy that we've got. And you got to remember, we've got this test, which has been a little bit of an unusual build-up, with our flying and travel day today, 2 days out, and then we've got a 6-day turnaround of the following one. So I'd have to say we have looked at it a little bit holistically, but both Sevu clearly was one of our form backs, I thought, in the Steinlager series. He's played well in the early bleds. He's now, we've given him a rest last week. He'll be ready to go. And I think we're now seeing signs that George is really back into the form that we know. So it's really important he gets an opportunity to stake his claim.
Can I just get you to speak to, I guess, the reselection of Jordie at 15? Especially, was it important given all he went through last week and the disruption of the game and then all the uncertainty? Was it important to give him another crack at 15?
Well, he only played 28 minutes, didn't he? So the answer is yes. He's sort of, again, he's, he started that first test. I thought he started well. Obviously, he didn't play much after that. So it's just a chance for him to continue. And I think I said early on, we're going to have to be smart with how we manage our 10 situation. We haven't got a lot of specialist 10s with us, with just Damien and Bodie, so it's in some ways it's a matter of managing those two to get through these next couple of tests as well. So there's a little combination and a few variables there that mean Jordie's the right person, but he's excited, and clearly it's a pretty stressful time going through a judiciary process, and you never quite know what's going to go on. But he's a relieved man and ready to go.
So yeah, and last one for me, just on the halfbacks, was this a plan change to bring TJ into the starting 15 for this game?
Yep, it was. For the first 2 weeks, we'd always anticipated sort of switching them around, and again, it's probably a loading issue, but it's also, I think last week I said that great opportunity to reward Brad for some really good work, and we were delighted with this game. I thought it was a very, very fast game. It suited him, and he did what he did really, really well. And so he should be pretty satisfied with his performance. And now it's TJ's turn. I know it's a different opposition, but he's training really well, and loved his impact off the bench last week. And I'm sure he'll give us the same as a starter.
As a man who loves scrummaging and not being able to do that, how have you sort of kept yourself sane and occupied over the last few months while you've managed this rehab period?
Yeah, good question. I've done a lot of single sled stuff where the pressure hasn't been too much, a little bit of one-on-one stuff, and even 2-on-1s and things like that. It's just really that final progression of getting the full load through with the live 8-on-8. So yeah, that's been the final hurdle to get across, and I've ticked that box now. So yeah, happy to be fully back in the mixer.
When you do get yourself back into that kind of live 8-on-8 situation, is it almost a bit of a shock to the system after having gone so many months without doing it? And is there a sort of a better team to test that against in a side like the Pumas for your first game back?
Yeah, the Pumas are a pretty passionate scrummaging side, so yeah, exactly what you said. It should be a good challenge. Yeah, going through things, you know, ticking off those small progressions and doing live 8s in the scrum machine and things like that. That's given me confidence going into the week to do those full lives this week. So yeah, I think things are feeling pretty good.
Last year, I think when you came back after missing those 2 Bledisloe Cup tests, a colleague of ours compared you to a caged lion. How are you feeling this time around? Are you ready to get out of the cage?
Yeah, the cage is well and truly gone. I think, yeah, I'm ready to just rip in now. Feeling pretty good with all my fitness and everything now. And yeah, like what I said earlier, I've ticked all the boxes and feeling confident with the scrummaging stuff now. So yeah, ready to just rip in.
And just lastly for me, did you start growing the beard out when you sort of had the injury, and was that a conscious effort?
Yeah, great observation. That's exactly what I did. When I got injured, I just said to myself I wasn't going to shave until after I get back on the field. I've been getting a bit of stick from the missus back home. Well, pretty much the whole time I've had it. But yeah, I've stayed strong with it, and I'll see how it goes. Might see the tour out. I don't think it'll last till I get home though. She's pretty adamant that it's not coming home.
Fozzie was just talking before about sort of competition in the outside backs and how that's a good sort of selection headache for him to have. How have you found that sort of internal competition, given it feels like every single outside back in the squad is in pretty good form at the moment?
Oh, that's so true. It's a tough one, like you said, and all the outside backs are probably playing their best footy so far. And I guess it just comes down to, the coaches who they select and stuff. But for us, we're just controlling what we can, training, just the little details, I guess, that would give you that 1%, hopefully, but yeah, the competition at training just keeps everyone on their toes. Competition, especially for the outsides, is just, it's crazy, man. It's a healthy thing to have in the team. Makes everyone better, and keeps everyone on their toes.
Some technical whiz last week in Perth clocked Rico Ioane at a top end speed of 38.5 kilometres an hour when he chased down Tom Banks. What do you reckon your top end speed is, mate?
Oh, about 40. Nah. To be honest, Rico has, he's explosive, man. He's fast, and I hate to say this, but yeah, he's probably one of the fastest. He is the fastest in the team, and as we've all seen him run, that's some crazy meters he clocked up on that chase down. So see, he hasn't stopped talking about that ever since. So just to shake my head every time he walks by. So.